Well, let's bring you some reaction now from Africa about China's economic relations with the continent. Yasser Hakim sought the views of a prominent businessman, Waleed Gamaleldin. He's the head of the Saudi-Egyptian Business Association.
How do you view the economic and business relations between China and Egypt, especially in the last few years?
China's relation with this region is very important for both sides. There are very strong economic relations between the two. Between China and the region, and there's a lot of trade, huge numbers, but of course China is the main beneficiary of exports to the region. I mean, the trade, there's a trade imbalance, huge trade imbalance due to the strength, enormous strength of the Chinese economy. But the relationships are very strong and there are a lot of Chinese investments in the region, whether in Egypt or in other countries, and they are growing. We see Chinese investors coming to Egypt all the time, looking at opportunities, and I think Egypt now is open for investment, and there's a lot of potential. If the Chinese investors come to Egypt these days, they will find that there is a big improvement over the last few years, and many more opportunities are open to them, and they're more than welcome to invest in Egypt.
As you observe the two sessions in Beijing, which components of the Chinese economy that you feel that Egypt can learn from?
I think the Chinese model is very strong and one Egypt should learn a lot from. The production or productivity in China is very high, so I think labor training is very good in China. The average labor in any factory has very high skills and very high productivity. That is something, I think, one of the weaknesses that shows in the macro figures, but when you analyze why it's there, the weaknesses are there in the Egyptian economy. It starts from productivity, low productivity. So I think if we study the Chinese model and how factories in China and how workers in China are so highly productive, this is really the key to all the numbers that appear in the macro side.